Wagwan viewers and subs, welcome back to class. Thank you for tuning in. Here's what we're dealing with today, guys. This car got into an accident and it caught on fire. So the tail lights got melted, the bumper was melted. So we're gonna be changing out a lot of parts. The good news is there is no frame damage present, and also the mechanics still work. So I can pop the trunk from the inside, not from outside, because that's all damaged. So as you can see, there's light around here, so it seems like the electrical part of it didn't get damaged so bad. We're gonna take it apart and see what else is going on underneath the surface. Alright guys, so here we got the bumper off. As you can see, there is no internal damage, and there goes the bumper, or what's left of it. So no internal damage on there. On the brackets we have some leftover burnt plastic that we're probably not going to be able to get off without fighting. So we're just going to replace these brackets just to be on the safe side. Everything on the trunk is going to be replaced. Now as you take a look inside, there is no internal fire in here or anything burned. However, while I'm looking at the harness, it looks like it shrink based on that some of the heat that might have gotten to it. So I think the best thing to do is replace this whole harness, or maybe I'm wrong, so I'll check with one of the mechanics and see what their recommendation is. But there is power coming through the whole thing and there is no shortage whatsoever. But just to be on the safe side, they might need to be replaced. Moving on, guys, I found one small dent in this area. You see the body filler, I got that fixed, and the rest of the panel was sanded with 180 and refined with 320 to remove chips and scratches. On the top here, there was no visible scratches, chips, or dents, so I just go ahead and sand it all down with 600 just to make sure. If I see anything, I will have to fix it, so I might go back down to 180 or 320 before I prime. Now, the next thing we did right after sanding, we cleaned off the panel to get it dust free, and then we masked up all the areas that we do not need primer. Now, this is one of our new employees in training, and he's laying down some 2K primer, nice and easy. You know, he's making nice long passes. Now, make sure that your primer pressure is not too high. You do not need a fine mist of primer. Primer is a filler. You need it to get you some meat back onto the panel, and that way it'll fill all those sand scratches. Alright guys, so once you got your primer sanded down, you give it a nice wash with some wax and grease remover. You can bring it into the area in which you paint and get it masked up for paint. This over here is the bumper. This is a new bumper. So we sanded this down with 600 and a scuff pad to scuff the edges. And now we're ready to go in terms of getting the paint done. All right, first things first, guys, when spraying a new bumper, guys, or a new part, make sure that you add adhesion promoter or sealer. In this case, my bumper already comes with a coating on it, so all I had to do was scuff it down and then add the sealer. Right now, if this was a different scenario where the bumper is raw plastic, no coatings on it, I would have to scuff it down and then clean it up, and then add adhesion promoter and then the sealer. This way, when you add your promoter or your sealer, you're making sure that your paint doesn't flake off further on down the line. I'm using the Master Pro 44 series. Sealer should always be sprayed wet. What I'm doing here is I'm touching up these little burn through areas on the trunk. I'm not gonna seal the whole thing. Now, this is my third coat of base coat on the trunk. I'm using the Tetna base coat gun. I haven't used this one in a while, one of my favorites. After the paint dries for about 15 minutes, I'm gonna go ahead and lay down the clear coat, 2 coats of clear coat. And there you have it, guys. We have the meltdown all done and back together. I call it the meltdown because it was in a fire. So I want to thank you guys for watching. If you enjoy the work that I do on my channel, please consider subscribing, leaving a like, comment, and share. Now, until next time, guys, class dismissed. Yeah, man, I eat that, man. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, Zine. Yeah, man, respect.